customers are losing their intellectual capital, and that's the big thing that a lot of people don't understand. If you think about what your employees are doing, they're sitting in front of a chatbot. That chatbot is backed by a Copilot, a ChatGPT, an Anthropic, a Cohere, you name it. They're backed by public tools. The questions your employees are asking, the things that they're looking for, is intellectual capital that is leaking out. And we see this heavily in the world of finance. Welcome back to Straight Talk on AI. Again, I'm Kevin Collins. I didn't introduce myself properly in the last video that we did. I am the CEO and co-founder of a company called Charli AI. We deal heavily in the world of AI. My background is a techie. Even though I wear the cash extraction officer hat, I do deal a lot with the technology, and like my entire team, we've been in the world of AI now for a good 15, 20 years. For each people, the technology has changed remarkably over the last few years. We are big fans of what you're seeing in the market right now on AI, including the large language models, but we're well aware of the traps and the downfalls of large language models. And I talked about some of those in the last video. I do on this one want to talk about intellectual capital. So there's been a lot of focus on hallucinations. There has been some focus on AI using a lot of the private data that you have, especially in the consumer world, that's copyright notice. But when you get into the world of business and you're dealing with finances, or you're dealing with medical, or you're dealing with industrial, it's a lot more important to make sure that that AI doesn't leak any of your data, especially when it comes to PI data. Now, we have a lot of experience on how to secure and protect not just the PI data, but any type of information that is going into and out of the AI. And it's important to understand the controls you need to put in place. If you are in the world of InfoSec or security practice for your organization, you have to learn new skills, and you also have to put in new control measures around AI, because your intellectual capital can leak out unknowingly. It's not what you think. In fact, we look at this ourselves because we have to deal with a lot of customers in the world of finance, highly regulated, and we go to great lengths to protect not just their data. We have to protect their data. We have to protect the PI information, and we have to protect it as it gets sequenced through a lot of the AI models. But the other piece around this is that customers are losing their intellectual capital, and that's the big thing that a lot of people don't understand. If you think about what your employees are doing, they're sitting in front of a chatbot. That chatbot is backed by a Copilot, ChatGPT, an Anthropic, a Cohere, you name it. They're backed by public tools. The questions your employees are asking, the things that they're looking for, is intellectual capital that is leaking out. And we see this heavily in the world of finance. It's important to protect the questions that you ask as much as it is the data. And I do come from the world of security. I used to be certifiable at some point. I joke about that. But I did focus heavily in the world of security in a past life. I'm very sensitive to things around security, and I can see how the metadata that AI is capturing is so powerful. It's actually more powerful than the data itself. And if you're, for example, in the world of finance, and you're either in the retail banking, commercial banking, your investment banking, and you think of your employees are using these tools, that intellectual capital can start to leak just simply through the questions and the prompts that they are using with public domain models. You have to protect it. You don't want to go into your competitor. You don't want it to leak out and be used against you. So you have to be very careful on the tooling that your employees are using as well, and how to protect any of the information that is going out. And that's one of the things that you have to be cognizant of with large language models. Putting a chatbot in front of somebody has risks, and it's different risks than what you might be used to if you're looking at ABAC controls and the back end. You're looking at governance controls on your files. You're looking at records management. This is a different realm because now these models are using that information to build up their intelligence and the intelligence behind the scenes for whoever has that AI. In our particular case, we actually protect it. None of the questions, none of the prompts ever leaves the four walls of the customers that we work with because we just can't expose that information. It's too risky, it's too valuable. So the hint here around that straight talk on AI is powerful, we understand it, but it comes with massive risks, not just in leaking your data, potential risks around your intellectual capital going out the door as well.